Welcome to Yoga and Beyond, your go-to podcast for yoga, essential oils, emotional healing, and soulful living. I'm Dora Nemes, a yoga therapist and essential emotions coach, here to help you explore yoga beyond the mat as a path to self-discovery, healing, and wholeness. Each week, we will dive into soulful practices and holistic wisdom to support your well-being. Let's begin. Welcome, my dears. This is the 4th episode of Yoga and Beyond. And today we are exploring one of the most important yet often overlooked aspects of well-being, which is self-compassion. So let me ask you something. When life feels difficult and you are struggling, how do you speak to yourself? Do you offer yourself kindness, understanding, and patience? Or do you judge yourself, pushing through difficulty with self-criticism? Many of us extend love and understanding to others, but struggle to offer the same kindness to ourselves. Why is it easier to be compassionate toward a friend, but difficult to do the same for ourselves? So today we will explore the difference between self-care and self-compassion. How yogic wisdom and mindfulness help us nurture a kinder relationship with ourselves. How to shift from self-judgment to self-acceptance. And we will finish with a guided self-compassion practice to soften the heart. So find a quiet space, take a deep breath, and let's begin. So first let's understand the difference between self-care and self-compassion, as they are often confused. So what is self-care? Self-care is about taking care of your body and mind. Things like resting, eating well, setting boundaries, having a massage, taking a warm bath. So self-care is beautiful and necessary, but it's not the same as self-compassion. Because what is self-compassion? Self-compassion is about how we treat ourselves in moments of struggle. It's the ability to hold yourself with kindness, especially when facing difficulties, failure, pain, or self-doubt. It's about shifting from self-judgment to self-acceptance. Kristin Neff, a leading researcher on self-compassion, describes 3 essential elements. The first one is self-kindness. So instead of being self-critical, treating yourself with the same warmth and patience you would offer a dear friend. The second one is the common humanity. Recognizing that struggle is a part of life and we are not alone in our suffering. And the third element is mindfulness. So being aware of our pain without over-identifying with it. So now you understand the difference between self-care and self-compassion. Let's have a look how yogic wisdom and mindfulness help us nurture a kinder relationship with ourselves. In yoga, there is a powerful ethical principle called Ahimsa, which means non-violence or non-harming. Non-violence through thought, words, and acts. Ahimsa is the root of any other moral norms, the basis of a truly wise or a healing lifestyle is to wish no harm to any living creature, not only humans, but all creation, including the rocks. Harming others, whether to thought, words, or action, always harms us as well. While most people associate ahimsa with being kind to others, true ahimsa begins within. Every time we judge ourselves, push too hard, or deny our needs, we are engaging in self-violence. And another yogic principle, Santosha, contentment, teaches us to embrace ourselves as we are rather than constantly self-criticize and striving to be better. Contentment means to maintain a balanced attitude, whatever we do. Cultivate contentment and tranquility by finding happiness with what you have and who you are. Seek happiness in the moment. Take responsibility for where you are and choose to grow from there. So, here are some reflection prompts for you. I also put it in the description of this episode. You will find them there. So the first prompt to reflect on is how do you speak to yourself when you make a mistake? And the second one is think about a time you spoke harshly to yourself. What would have changed if you had responded with kindness instead? So, guys, I don't know about you, but I catch myself sometimes to speak to myself not in a very nice way. For example, when I say that, oh, I'm so stupid, and I don't even realize that I'm saying this, but then I said, no, I'm not stupid. So things like that, once you start to observe these many times even unconscious way of thinking and way of speaking to yourself, then it's very interesting, and then you can change it actually. So and now let's talk about the inner critic and the inner nurturer. And this is also a very interesting topic. So many of us live with a strong inner critic, a voice that constantly tells us you should be doing more, you are not enough, you are flailing, and so on. I think all of you know this inner critic. But we also have within us an inner nurturer, a voice of love, wisdom, and acceptance. The role of the inner critic is actually, the inner critic is not our enemy. It's often shaped by past experiences, culture, or upbringing. It tries to protect us actually from failure or rejection. But in doing so, it creates self-doubt and emotional pain. So when we become aware of the inner critic's voice, we can learn to soften it. So how do you soften it? How do you activate the inner nurturer? So first, pause and notice. The next time you hear self-judgment, take a breath and pause. And then reframe the thought. Instead of, I am failing, try, I'm doing my best, and that's enough. And last, use self-compassion phrases. Like, for example, I am human and I am allowed to be imperfect. I give myself permission to rest and heal. I offer myself the same kindness I offer others. And here is a mantra as well, or another affirmation for the heart. I am worthy of love and gentleness, just as I am. So these are very simple practices, as you see, that you can implement in your daily life, basically in every minute. The only thing it requires is awareness, self-awareness, observing our thoughts, observing our inner dialogues. And let's finish this episode with a guided self-compassion practice. So just find a comfortable seated position, close your eyes, and place one hand over your heart and one hand on your belly. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And just feel your breath flowing in and out like an ocean wave. Feel the natural flow of your breath. And just let your breath deepen naturally. With every inhale, imagine drawing in warmth, softness and love. And with every exhale, imagine releasing tension, self-judgment and doubt. Just take a few breaths with this intention. Breathing in warmth, softness and love. Breathing out tension, self-judgment and doubt. And now bring your awareness to the center of your chest, to your heart space. And imagine a soft golden light glowing within, gently expanding with each breath. This light is your own kindness, your own love. And now silently or softly repeat after me. I am enough just as I am. I offer myself kindness and understanding. I deserve love just like everyone else. Let these words settle into your heart. And now imagine yourself as a child, innocent, vulnerable, deserving of love. What does this child need to hear? Whisper softly to yourself. You are safe. You are loved. I am here for you. And now take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, imagine this soft light wrapping around you like a warm embrace. Just feel it. And when you are ready, just gently open your eyes. And just see how you feel. And you can come back to this practice anytime when you feel that you need some self-love. So, and we came to the end of this podcast. And just let's summarize this episode. So self-compassion is not about being perfect, it's about being kind to ourselves in difficult moments. Ahimsa, non-violence, non-harming, begins within, very important. And when we shift our inner dialogue from the inner critic to the inner nurturer, we create more love, patience, and connection in our lives. So here is a little practice for next week. Each morning, place your hand over your heart and say, I am enough. I offer myself kindness today. And each evening, reflect on where did I practice self-compassion today. I also wrote this prompts, this practice for you in the episode description. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode and that it brought you deeper insight into the practice of self-love and self-compassion. And may you continue to embrace yourself with kindness, patience, and love. In our next episode, we will explore how self-compassion translates into our relationships, how deeper connection with ourselves allows us to cultivate deeper connection with others. So stay tuned in And see you next week. I'm sending you lots of love. Ciao, ciao. Thank you for being here with me.